AI companies don't want you to know the true impact of AI on global warming. They don't want you to know the cost of every prompt, quick summary, and generated cat video. And why would they? Behind all their jargon and inflated projections, there is a truth, and I've tried my best to present it as plainly and unbiased as I can put it. I do want to say, though, that every technology we use has an environmental cost, and I do not think that AI is evil. Artificial intelligence is a tool so broad that it includes traditional search engines like Google and YouTube's video algorithm, both of which I use and benefit from on a daily. AI has the potential to make everyone's lives better, help cure almost all disease, and create a peaceful utopia, but that's simply a possibility. On the current timeline we are on, it seems like AI is only being used to replace workers to maximize profit, to scam the elderly and even young people out of their money, and to accelerate global warming towards the brink of no return. In this video, I will be more specifically looking at generative AI and large language models like ChatGPT, which is what most people consider AI. So, why do I even care? I'm a small YouTuber that posts silly storytime animated videos about my life. In my last video, I did a deep dive into why AI art will never replace human artists, as I make drawings and I have a strong dislike for AI art. But during my research, there was a giant elephant glaring at me the whole time, begging for me to address it, so here I am. I may not be an expert, but everything I say in this video is based not on my own opinion, but on factual research from verified sources like news articles, technological reviews, and scientific papers. You can find all of my sources linked in the description in my annotated bibliography. Since this technology is new, there is a lot of room for change, and perhaps a breakthrough in the future shall invalidate my claims. However, as of right now, these are the facts. There is no way to know the environmental impact of a single image generation because it depends on the size and quality of the image, the AI model itself, and which data center the image is processed in. The MIT Technological Review says, the common understanding of AI's energy consumption is full of holes. However, I will try my best to provide a general analysis. AI's carbon footprint doesn't start with a prompt or even in training, but it starts all the way in foreign countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo. The mining industry in the DRC is very extensive, with its mining in cobalt and lithium being particularly noteworthy. These metals are both needed for many technologies we use in the West, such as electric vehicles and phone batteries. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the #1 extractor and exporter of cobalt in the entire world. AI has to have a physical body of sorts to perform complex tasks and analyze data. The tasks demanded of AI are too complex to be run on your phone or computer, so they are sent to a data center. These data centers are massive, with areas of several 100,000 square feet. Inside are hundreds of computers that will process your request. Each of these computers requires metals to be mined to build them, and this often produces a lot of CO2. The machinery used for mining, processing, and transporting metals and minerals is currently reliant on fossil fuels as a source of fuel and electricity. And according to the Institute for Environmental Research and Education, some reports suggest that the mining sector is responsible for between 4% and 7% of global greenhouse gas emissions. This may not seem like a lot, but looking at the total global emissions, that would be equal to several billion tons. Mining also requires mass deforestation. In the DRC, people have reported their parks being destroyed to create mines less than 20 feet away from their homes. One Congolese man spoke up about the damage to his home due to the mining. He was forced to evacuate with his family because the explosions used to create the mines caused cracks in the walls of his house. He said he had spoken to the local government about getting compensation, but he was left on his own to find a new house, with the structure of his old home being compromised and risking falling on him and his family. Other people have not been as lucky and were violently removed from their houses by armed military, which gave them little to no compensation and left dozens, including women and children, displaced without a home. The cost of AI includes the cost of human life and endangerment. Lesser developed countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo have very unregulated mines with almost no safety procedures. They often employ the labor of young children and pregnant women as well. The book Cobalt Red describes the terrible conditions in these mines and how children are being exploited and forced to work, and how hundreds of people have died in work-related accidents caused by unsafe conditions. At least 70 killed in collapse, 15 miners killed in cave-in, and an additional 18 killed in similar incidents in the same area the week before. 15 suffocate, as many as 100 miners trapped. Many of these incidents include diamond mining and gold mining, but the fact still remains that the mining industry in the DRC is wildly unregulated and dangerous. Cobalt is a toxic substance, and yet thousands of people there touch it barehanded and breathe it in on a daily basis. Mining in the DRC has led to toxic chemicals being found in the community's water sources, so they are using polluted water to bathe and even drink. The water pollution caused by cobalt mining is killing the Congolese population. 56% of Congolese people living near large cobalt mines interviewed by AfroWatch said there has been an increase in gynecological and reproductive health problems in women over the years. These include miscarriages and complications during labor, which can be deadly. The same interview shows that there has been a major decline in fish and crop yield due to the pollution, and children's health has declined, and they've been forced to reduce schooling for children because of it. These children, if they cannot attend school, have no other place to go besides work with their parents. This exposes them to the dangerous conditions and toxic metals. The cost of using AI is not just a monetary one or even an environmental one, but a moral one. Going back to the carbon footprint, it only gets worse after manufacturing. And AI software needs to be trained to be able to complete a task, and this requires a lot of energy. Training a single AI model produces 5 times the amount of carbon dioxide emissions from a car in its entire lifetime, while including the manufacturing and fuel emissions. That is around several 100,000 pounds of CO2 in the training of a single model alone. Once the model is trained, it requires electricity to run, and an absolutely absurd amount. According to the MIT Technological Review, OpenAI and Donald Trump have plans to build as many as 10 new data centers, each of which will require more than the entire power demanded from the whole state of New Hampshire. A single data center would require more energy than an entire US state, and there are currently 4,186 known data centers in the US alone. While most data centers will not require this much electricity, as demand for AI increases, the energy demand will increase with it. We do not have enough green energy to meet this massive demand, so most data centers will rely on fossil fuels to generate the electricity needed to run their systems. This produces even more greenhouse gas emissions in return. Since data centers have such a demand for electricity, if you live near one, the cost of electricity is likely to increase. These data centers have also been reported to have a non-stop hum, sometimes have bright lights 24/7 like it's eternal day, and release pollution into the air, contaminating it for anyone nearby. If you run a lot of tabs on your computer, it will most likely begin to heat up. The same is true for data centers. Because of this, they use water or air conditioning to cool it down. This exacerbates droughts and increases water costs for nearby communities who did not ask for these centers to be built. So these data centers produce noise pollution, light pollution, air pollution. They increase the cost of electricity and water for those who live nearby, while simultaneously decreasing the value of your property, as nobody wants to live near them. And on top of that, they contribute massively to global warming and use child labor and modern-day slavery. And for what? I'm just gonna interrupt this video because the ending I had previously recorded doesn't fit with how I feel anymore. I had been struggling to finish this video, and I think it's because deep down I was feeling like a hypocrite. I'm gonna be honest. I'd used ChatGPT recently to help me with something very specific with school. It had given me insight to things I hadn't known before and inspired me to work harder, but I felt very conflicted. I knew how bad AI was for the environment and for the kids in Congo, but I also knew me not using AI alone would do nothing to help these kids. I didn't want to make a video bashing other people for doing the same things that I used to do. I used to use AI to make funny images and call Bakugo on Character AI, or use AI to vent to. But now, I have a better understanding of AI and the full picture of how it's created and works. Nobody is perfect, and I certainly am not. AI is a wonderful tool. It simplifies so much of our lives and can do amazing things. For example, ISIF winner Rashab Jian utilized AI with pharmaceutical technology to help improve vaccine manufacturing and make saving lives more efficient. Is it morally just to save lives using the slavery of children? I don't know. This is a very morally gray area, and there is so much nuance. But the point of this video isn't to say that AI is terrible and that if you use it, you're a bad person. Because as much as you may not like it, AI is not going anywhere. We compare AI to the .com bubble, but the thing is that after the bubble popped, the internet still stuck around. The point of this video is to encourage restraint and awareness. If you don't need to use AI, then don't. Disable your quick search or switch to Ecosa, which helps to plant trees. I felt so powerless as an individual, but then I realized this is exactly why I needed to make this video. If you can, then try and avoid AI. I don't think we need to avoid it forever, but if enough people speak up about the atrocities caused by this industry, we can force them to have better working conditions. If you want to help the Congolese children, then buy refurbished technology, and if your tech works, then don't buy anything new. I will be putting links to charities that provide humanitarian aid to the DRC if you want to help even more. One thing you could do for free is share this video with someone you know who uses AI so we can spread awareness. You might feel overwhelmed after this video, but just like drops of rain can eventually lead to a flood, small actions by people like you can make a genuine difference. If AI is no longer profitable, then large companies will be forced to change their practices, and by speaking out about injustice in the world, we together can work to build a better tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I really hope that you don't feel anxious after watching this because that was not at all my intention. Things can and will get better, and I personally will be trying to avoid using AI as much as possible. And I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are.